What's going on? It's your boy Sermon, the sermonsdomain.com.
What up? This is Reese, the MarsupiaEmpire.com.
Today, we are here to talk about Charlie Wilson's latest album, Forever Charlie. This album, to me, it's great because I can't say I'm a big Charlie Wilson fan, but the stuff that I have heard, like I'm a big fan of, my last name is Wilson or whatever that song is.
First name Charlie, last name Wilson.
Yeah, whatever.
That was the shit.
Yeah, that is a song, and I appreciate his appearances on Kanye stuff, and he did a record with Marsha Ambrosius recently, or last year. Mm-hmm. So I like to say I'm a fan, and I just never really dove into his music like that. So this was my first time doing that, and I was really surprised. I think off top, this album, is not getting the promotion it deserves because I didn't know about it until the beginning of this month. Mm-hmm. But
very underpromoted album.
Very. But as soon as I knew about it, I was anticipating it. And one of the things that led me to discovering that he was dropping this album was the fact that in the back of my mind, I was like, yo, Kanye West is supposed to be executive producing Charlie Wilson's next album. Mm-hmm. This is not that album.
Nope.
So I was it was kind of disappointing, but it's totally out of Charlie's control. It has no reflection on the material on Forever Charlie, but I still would like to see that Kanye executive produced album at some point.
Yeah, I like the album a lot. I like the album because one, it's R&B, and it's kind of tough to grade R&B negatively unless it's just really bad.
Right.
One thing I did like about the album, I'm still trying to find the samples, but I noticed there are a lot of older samples that are in the songs. I'm trying to find them. I have the track listing here, but I can't find the samples, and it's driving me crazy. Mm-hmm. Because I'm listening to these songs.
You're recognizing the samples?
I'm recognizing samples, and I'm like, man, okay. And it's cool because Charlie Wilson's an older dude, you know what I'm saying? He comes from an older generation.
Right.
And it's like, okay, these were the songs that were popping at the time that he was, really prevalent. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So again, for me, it's just, it's really good R&B. It's really upbeat. I thought that there would be more slow songs because I guess that's never been his foray. I guess that's never been his forte. It's never really been slow songs. You know what I mean?
He has a few of them on here.
Yeah, but I don't know. I would say not enough, but I can't really judge that because, thinking back to the Gap Band days, they never really did a ton of slow songs.
Right.
So, and I think on the his first album, what was the name of his first album? Let me see. I'm gonna look up his discography because the first album had a ton more slow songs. Charlie last name Wilson.
Okay.
And that came out and had more slow songs than this, this does. You know what I mean? But it's still really good R&B. And again, like I said, it's really hard to grade R&B because it's either good or it's bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's either okay, I can vibe to this. Yeah. Clean my house on a Sunday to this. You know what I'm saying? Woo girl to this.
You can grade R&B differently. You could have a good voice, but the song content might not be there. But the beat, be there.
You know what?
And I wouldn't necessarily deem that bad or nothing.
There's been bad R&B that I've heard, especially over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not gonna name no names. Let me not hit them. I'm gonna say it. I'm putting it out there. But this is really solid. And I like the fact that he didn't really have any features. Of course, Snoop's gonna be on the album.
Snoop. They have great chemistry. He has Shaggy.
Man, I want to speak of that because I thought that would be that one song. There's always that one song on the album that's just completely different direction that doesn't fit the theme of the album. And when I heard that song at the very beginning, I just thought to myself, when the beat came on, this is gonna be that song. This song's gonna suck. I already know. Mm-hmm. But
you was vibing to it.
I was, and it worked. And it worked because I thought that they didn't try to do too much.
Right.
And who else did that really well? I'm sorry to get off topic really quickly, but who else had the kind of Jamaican themed kind of reggaeton song was R. Kelly when he did TP3 Reloaded.
Yes.
He had a song in there, and I forgot what the name of the song is, but when you hear it, it's okay, he matched the vibe of the song. Mm-hmm. He didn't try to make the song his too much. You know what I mean? He just matched the vibe of where the song was going. And I thought that's exactly what he did with the record with Shaggy on here. So that was dope to me. Because again, I expected that song to suck.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be terrible.
I appreciate this album a lot because it doesn't sound like 2015, and I like like the nostalgic type vibe, like the I like that Charlie Wilson is in like his own world. He's not caring to fit in. He's not caring about what's going on. He's just making
he's making his music.
Yeah. That sounds like it's music that I feel like it's not gonna have an expiration date.
Right.
You can listen to this album years from now, and you're still because he's talking about love. He's talking about all kinds of good stuff, and that's what makes songs like from the 80s and like why I still listen to Lionel Richie like every week because he made timeless records, and I feel like Charlie Wilson is doing that now. Will he get that same appreciation?
Probably not.
I don't know.
I think that just people don't appreciate Charlie Wilson because people look at him as Charlie Wilson and they don't look at him from the Gap Band days. And I think that you have to look at Charlie Wilson in that light also. You know what I mean? He comes out with quality work. Like, people don't speak negatively of his music. You know what I mean? He's got so many different. He was just recognized. What was it, last year, the year before? Like the BET Awards, like Lifetime Achievement Award. Yeah. So people, they know who he is, but again, this younger generation is not going to appreciate that. And that's not to speak negatively of him. It's just people just don't appreciate it. Yeah. And I love the fact that he had some of the writers that he had on the album were Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I think that is dope. I think that, they're legends, obviously, from the work that they've done, through the years with everyone. Too many people to name. But like the fact that he even brought them in to do a couple tracks, or maybe they wrote them and just gave them to him, or however that worked out. But it's still good to see people with older industry ties and connections still working on prevalent music nowadays, and I think that's incredible. And they helped write on, 3 or 4 of the tracks on the album. They wrote on, and Rodney Thomas too, which is crazy. But Hey Lover, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. Things You Do, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and Me, You, and Forever also. So they wrote on those 3 songs. And then again, he had Rodney Harris is on My Favorite Part of You, which is a dope song. I think that's my favorite song on the album, actually. Like the one that Snoop was on. And then he wrote on Sugar.Honey.Ice.Tea. So again, just to see like those talented group of writers, I think it's in R&B, man, it is absolutely essential to have great writers involved on a project, and I think that's just lacking too much. I think the great writers of our day would be the people who are getting more consideration now. Like Neo's a great writer, Miguel's a great writer. What's her name, man? I'm trying to think of her name.
Esther Dean?
No, she's great.
She is great.
She is great. Yeah, Marsha Ambrosius. What's her name? She's fine, bro. She's with the dude. She's with Serge Ibaka now. She got into it with Beyonce a couple years ago. What's her name, man? The fine one, bruh. Damn. Can't remember her name, but she's fine. Everybody knows. She did the song Slow Jam. Slow Dance, I think it was called. She was hot for. She did a record with Kanye, man. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my god, man.
We'll have to come back and figure that out.
Well, anyway.
Later.
But we, Justin Timberlake is, becoming a better writer. And I'm surprised he doesn't have any writing credits on this album because him and Charlie Wilson worked together on some stuff as well, so it's kind of surprising I didn't see his name in the writing credits here either. But overall, I think it's a good album. I think it's a better album than I expected it to be, so that's really cool. It's always,
I came into it with, no real expectations, so I was blown away.
Right.
What would you rate the album?
Man, see, I didn't want to rate it.
You don't want to rate it?
No, and not because I don't want to critique it. We've already critiqued it. Yeah. But I don't want to rate. It's hard rating R&B, man, because it's a different scale than hip hop. And we have to come up with a different rating system for R&B altogether because it's not like a 1 through 5 kind of thing. Right. You know what I mean?
So off the top of the dome, we'll come up with like a better R&B system as we go along. Yeah. But just off the top of the dome, do you think you'll be playing this album for a long time?
When I get my R&B vibe, yeah, it'll definitely be at the top of the. It'll be definitely at the top of the list of the albums that I play more currently, because it's a good album. You know what I mean? I can't see myself skipping any songs on it or even turning it off. I don't know if it's the first thing I'll put on like in the morning. You know what I mean? Or if like I'm going out, I probably won't put it on. But if I'm just, if I'm like about to jump in the shower, I always play music in the shower. If I want to sing a little bit, I'll do that.
To albums on.
This is the type of album you make love to. It's too fast paced. But it's a dope album. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I don't want to, since you don't want to give it a rating, I won't. But I feel like I'll be playing this album, for a long time. I'll definitely be playing it, for the rest of the year. It could go on to be one of my favorite R&B albums of the year.
Yeah, and that's always an early call too. Like people just, it's the best R&B album of 2015. So
I won't say that. I'll definitely say it's a contender already because you know we're in it, but he can easily get bumped out as the year goes on.
Of course, but I do like the album. Much props to Charlie Wilson. Please make sure you go buy the album.
Yes.
From Amazon, from Best Buy, from iTunes, from wherever you want to purchase it from, because it definitely is worth buying, which is rare for some albums these days.
Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Let us know your comments on the album.
Share with your friends, your baby's mom, or you know what I'm saying, whoever else, your cousin, everybody. Pookie, everybody.
And Charlie Wilson, if you happen to use the internet and watch this, please get on Kanye about executive producing your next album because we'd love to hear.
Please, sir.